Hello and welcome to Liam's Lyceum, everyone. I'm your host Liam, aka Hemvar, and I'm just having terrible technical difficulties. My camera has been blurry in like the last 3 videos I've recorded. It was perfectly fine up until the fact that my computer crashed a second ago, so I already gave essentially my entire weekly update. I had like 1 minute left to go, and then my computer crashed because my computer just does that all the time. Unfortunately. But it's Liam's Leapings number 71, 13th of January, 2024. I'll just tell you the things I read this week and wrote. I didn't write anything. I did post to Patreon a poem I wrote last week, so it's free as well. So if you just want to go check that out, I think I have one patron. It's my dad. So thanks. Though I've had some patrons before from the channel, so I appreciate it. There's other stuff on there that's free, other stuff that's you pay for if you would like to support. I really appreciate it. This week I did finish. I'll try to make this quick, but I'm sure I will not repeat the things I liked that I said last time, as is typical. Winters in the World by Eleanor Parker. I actually made a video on this. It'll come out at the end of this month. Because I thought, why not? Why not make a video on academic works? Because when I started my channel 2.5 years ago, I've never been reading academic works for a while, scholarly works, whatever. I just didn't feel like I was smart enough to talk about them, but they deserve the attention, so I thought I'd talk about it. I mean, one of these days I'll probably just stop making videos altogether. I just feel like I'm like on this weird liminal space of YouTube, like for some reason. Anyways, I also finished The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury. This is great. It'll probably make my top 10 for 2024. Speaking of, I had my top 10 come out on Wednesday. So thanks to everyone who watched that. I don't really do videos like that. Those are videos like that are actually really common on BookTube. But it's like the one you'll get every year for me. It's my top 10 reads 2023, and I really butchered the format, but it was on purpose. Anyways, I also read The Doom of Odin by Scott Odin. I reviewed that on Tuesday. Really enjoyed it. I forgot to mention in the review, actually, that it gave me chills at the end. Very good. I'd be interested to see if we get any like short stories or anything like that about Grimnir, because there's room in the trilogy, to do that, or even before trilogy takes place. I didn't ask Scott when I was talking to him last month, so if you want to watch that, I talked to the author. That series is now complete, the Grimnir saga, so go and read it. I didn't read any of Arthur and Merlin this week, and that's because, or Weird Tales of Modernity, I should mention as well. That's because I started school again. I'm taking a Gothic class, Intro to Gothic Language, which is really cool. We looked at, the only thing we really looked at, because I missed the preceptor's session today because I was at work, sadly. But I wish I had a job I want to do. Here we are. We looked at the Lord's Prayer, because the only real text you have in Gothic is the Bible. It's actually an old version of the Bible too. It's a Bible translation before the Vulgate. It does have interest for biblical scholars. But we looked at the Lord's Prayer, and it's interesting because the word for father they use is ata, which is really where we get like the word dad. So it's basically dad became like their normal word for father. There's only like one example where they use the word father in the corpus. And also they had like different words, so like hymnum, I think, is heavens. Not related to any English word. I think it'd probably be related to High German, Himmel, which we do not get in English for some reason. And there's some other things. I won't bore you with the details. I also finished Sir Harewood and Mr. Fitz. I didn't really enjoy it. It's a relatively new release, so I should review it, but I probably won't because I just don't care that much, so that review will come out in a couple months. I did read about 40 pages in Don Quixote. And then, let's see, Winters in the World, Doom of Odin, Sir Harewood and Mr. Fitz, Martian Chronicles, and then The Magician's Nephew. I finished that with my daughter. So we also started The Book of Three by Lloyd Alexander, which I'm enjoying a lot more, to be completely honest. We're only on like chapter 2, but it's a lot more enjoyable than The Magician's Nephew is. Now, I'm sure a lot of the other Narnia books probably have more action. Magician's Nephew, actually, I just didn't enjoy that much. And I couldn't force myself to read a kid's book like that just by myself. That's why I want to read it with my girls. Though I should be able to force myself to read something like that, and I can occasionally enjoy a book for an audience that's not me, but I do have a hard time in a lot of ways. So I also basically am done with By Force Alone by Live Tidar. It's maybe my least favorite Tidar book, but that makes it sound bad, and it's actually really good. So this is really good retelling, Arthurian retelling, and it's actually very accurate in a lot of ways, but it's also purposely, kind of like a kick in the face. So I'm enjoying it. It's funny at times, very funny at times actually, um, but also very good. I have like a chapter left, so I'll finish that here in the next couple of days. Speaking of books, I have chapters left in. I have a couple more right here. Murder in Cormyr, which is cool. I've read other murder mysteries in the Forgotten Realms. This is like made to specifically be one. What's funny is that those other murder mysteries are also set at Cormyr. And so Spellfire by Ed Greenwood's also pretty much a murder mystery. Or Spellstorm, sorry. Spellfire is also by Ed Greenwood, but it's not a murder mystery. And The Wyvern Spur by Kate Novak and Jeff Grubb, also a murder mystery. And they're both set in Cormyr, which is just funny to me. But I'm enjoying it. If you want Gars, like a good town to like be populated and peopled, I guess same thing, whatever. This really brings to life the town. There's not a lot of high adventure in this one, not like anything to do with like grand things about the gods and stuff like that. Nope, it's pretty straightforward. So I like it. It does involve some things, like Sembia is a little bit involved in Iron Throne, which is interesting. But then I also read Parasites. It's kind of urban fantasy, thriller, horror novel, maybe slightly sci-fi. It's funny, but it's really good. So it's very entertaining, very quick read. I'm getting through this really quick. I actually have less than this. I've been mostly reading on my phone, so very good. I'll have a review after this probably next week, hopefully. And the other book I'm almost done with is Permutation City by Greg Egan. And this is kind of an interesting topic. It's big idea, so it's kind of mind-blowing big idea sci-fi. But that gives me a chance to talk about that. I don't think mind-blowing means amazing or good even. It means mind-blowing, right? I've seen from some booktubers, particularly sci-fi ones, and I'll just mention it, Jonathan. You should go check out his channel if you're not subscribed. Worth the time. I like Jonathan. I've done some videos with him actually. But he uses the word mind-blowing. I think he uses that to mean amazing, right? Because he'll describe something like, or maybe he finds stuff that blows his mind to be amazing. Maybe that's the reason he reads sci-fi. That would make sense. I mean, sci-fi is good for stuff like that, I feel like. More so than fantasy is in a lot of cases, but not completely. Something like Childhood's End, which I found good. I did not find mind-blowing, actually, but I found good. He describes mind-blowing, and that seems equal amazing. And the same with Permutation City, which I think was his favorite read from like 2022 or something like that. Very mind-blowing. It does not mean it's amazing, actually. So it's more mind-blowing than Childhood's End, in my opinion, but it's not amazing. But it is good, and I do like it. It definitely doesn't shirk character work, which is good. Very enjoyable. I did enjoy his short story Axiomatic, also by Greg Egan. I read that in the Big Book of Cyberpunk. I've done a couple videos on first and second part of that. I think that's in the second part. Society. If you go and watch that on my channel. So I'm enjoying that. I'm looking forward to finishing that one up. I like to have at least a sci-fi book going somehow. And yeah, so the only other book I've been reading, I think, is Cormyr. So another Forgotten Realms novel. I had read like the prologue last week. Now this week I read 4 more chapters. I focused on By Force Alone for one of my physical reads. So, but very enjoyable. It's telling the tale of Cormyr, basically before its founding, up to its founding, and also with the succession crisis of Azurin IV, basically in 1369 DR. So there's about 1,000-year difference, a little bit more even, depending on what part of the book you're on, especially as well. So Cormyr is ruled by dragons, and elves came in, humans came in, and yada yada yada. It's pretty good. I'm liking it so far. You get actually a cameo of Mist, the dragon from Azure Bonds, which is cool. And also, I made a character once that's an Overseer. They come from Impultur, which is another country in the Forgotten Realms. Doesn't get nearly as much attention as Cormyr. And I made an Overseer that was from Impultur because he's part of the Overseers rule Cormyr, the kings of Cormyr, right? And this Overseer is not, right, like a super distant cousin, but has the last name Overseer. So I thought it'd be funny because everyone would think, oh, you the king of Cormyr or something like that, like. But it's just distant cousins because the Impoturan branch, I think, does survive at least. I'm not 100% sure. It'll probably get confirmed in this book, but in my head it did. Anyways, so I think that's all the books I've been reading and finished and stuff like that. So, I did the videos was released this week. Was I had a review for Spear Cuts Through Water, one for the Doom of Odin, top 10 books of 2023. Oh, Clark Ashton Smith's birthday is today, I think. And so I did a poetry video for him on Thursday. A very short poem. You should listen to it. It's great. Clark Ashton Smith is one of my favorite poets. He won Best Poem of the Year. So basically, the best poet of 2023, right? And then today I had a review for Simplicius Simplicissimus, which is a great early modern work that you should check out. You can probably find it free online somewhere. So, yeah, and then I'll have this, and then next week we'll have more stuff. So, thanks. I guess I've been watching For All Mankind as well on TV. Normally don't mention my TV watching here, but Matt from Matt on Books mentioned it, and I was like, that sounds cool because like I like space stuff. Like not like just science fiction, but like stuff that's actually going on. Like I try to keep up with like the rocket launchers and stuff like that, and I have a very I remember going to NASA when I was younger. The Kennedy Space Center. I lived in Houston. I didn't go to Johnson Space Center, and I feel like an idiot for that. But I was a teenager at the time, so I was an idiot. And then, I saw the final space shuttle launch. It's the Atlantis in like 2011 or whatever. I was in Titusville, which is basically the town you go to if you want to. It's not as close as you can be, but like conveniently close, I guess. Watched the last space shuttle launch. It was awesome. Last mission they did, shuttle program. Very memorable experience. I lived in Florida actually at the time of that. I went to NASA before I lived in Florida when I was visiting Florida. So, anyways, For All Mankind is a fun alternate history space race type of thing. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm in the first season still, but anyways. So thanks, Matt, for mentioning that. Oh, and I did get a book this week. I forgot. I should be reading this with Evie from She Is Only Evie channel. Behold the Man by Michael Moorcock. I guess this will probably be my next Moorcock read. That was not the plan originally. It's probably going to be The Hollow Lands or Final Program probably. But Behold the Man is probably going to be it. It's really short. It's about Jesus in some ways. Probably really sacrilegious, probably, yes. But as Moorcock, can't say I'm surprised. So anyways, what have y'all been up to this week? Hope you're doing good. I'm really tired. I'm unfortunate that I had to record this twice. So I'll catch you next time, though.